Breaking travel news. Travel Talk with Phil Blizzard, talking to industry experts and decision makers.
Well, we're with Paul Griffiths, taking a look at developments at Dubai International Airport. Very much a half-yearly report in some ways, and as we said at the end of the first part, Concourse D. Why the need for an extra concourse here?
Well, what we're finding now is as the airport gets busier, we're able to increase the productivity of our runways because, of course, the A380 fleet now here is growing by the month. That's giving us much higher density per slot. And we've been able to get some capacity improvements on the runway. And of course, none of those will be any use at all unless we have the capacity in the terminals to match that. Now, clearly, with Terminal 3, with Concourse A and B now fully operational from the beginning of 2013, the requirements for Southside terminal capacity are continuing to grow. And what we're finding now as Emirates grows and takes more and more gates in Concourse C, we clearly have got to host all of the other carriers that use the south side of the airfield in a facility that's dedicated for them. So in 2008, we made the decision to build Concourse D, which is going to give the other carriers that visit the airport that currently use Concourse C a brand new home. That home will be connected by an overhead rail system direct to Terminal 1. The station's being constructed behind me at this very point in time.
And you can see the construction for the tracks well
Absolutely.
in progress at the moment.
That's right. It's construction completion. We're hoping towards the end of 2014. Then there'll be our normal, very thorough testing and commissioning process, and we're hoping to open for passengers during Q1 2015.
So with Concourse D up and running in place, what will be the capacity for Dubai International Airport?
In 2008, our SP 2020 programme identified a target of about 90 million by 2020. We've revisited our projections and done a few tweaks to the infrastructure and some process changes. We're now looking at about 103.2 million in our relatively geographically modest airport to be accommodated by 2020. That'll give us the capacity uplift we need. Beyond 2020, that's another situation altogether.
Now, regarding facilities for passengers in Concourse D, some mouth-watering options with chocolate cafes, news cafes, and even celebrity chefs having their operations and delights being served to passengers once it's open. So give us an overview of what we can expect if we're using Concourse D.
Well, the thing is, what we've always tried, every new facility that we've opened has got to take the bar that little bit higher in terms of service quality. And what we've found is that we've been very successful with Concourse A, the diversity of offer that we've put in there. And what we're trying to do is the same again, raise the bar yet again with Concourse D. So there's some very new concepts. You've mentioned the CNN News Cafe. We've got a Yo Sushi going in there, which is always a very popular offering. And we're working with Wolfgang Puck on a new celebrity chef type operation. We've seen how successful they've been overseas, and the chocolate cafe is a nice idea. Camden Food Company are coming in, lots of diverse operations which you won't have seen anywhere else in the Middle East will be exclusively available in Concourse D.
So do you think the celebrity chef is something which we'll see more and more in different airports? I'm thinking of London, Heathrow Terminal 5 with Gordon Ramsay, the one which is recently opened, Terminal 2 with Hester Blumenthal, and you've got the Austrian superstar who's based in America, I believe.
Absolutely right. Yeah. Well, I think the thing is, you've always got to make a statement about the sort of direction you're headed in, and I think the idea of celebrity chefs is the juxtaposition against the sort of reputation that airline and airport food has had for so many years, you know. And I've gone away from the idea of you know, not that many years ago when everything you bought to eat at the airport was covered in cling film. We don't want that to be the case. We want the reputation for freshly prepared dishes that people really want to eat at an airport, and we think this brand direction's a good one.
Well, it sounds mouth-watering, and I'm just thinking actually people using Concourse D will be very satisfied with that culinary delight and the offerings you've got there. What about celebrity chefs moving into the other concourses which at the moment do not have them?
Well, what we've done is taken a full review of every single concourse and terminal, and we've actually changed a huge amount of the catering outlets over the last few years. If you look at what we're doing now in Concourse C, which is our oldest concourse on the southern side, you'll find a huge number of different outlets now, and the way we've improved services, we've got the snooze cubes there, we've got all sorts of other services, we've improved the smoking lounges for customers, we've rebranded a lot of the bars and coffee shops and things. So it's a never ceasing program of renewal throughout the airport, and if you've used Terminal 2 recently, Phil, you'll notice it's a massively different experience now from a few years ago.
Indeed. So with the airports and the different concourses, the different terminals, it's like that well-known phrase, painting the fourth bridge. Once you finish it, you start again.
Absolutely. The airport never sleeps. We're a 24/7 operation, and it's a constant program that we have of renewal to try and keep raising the bar on the quality of service for the increasing number of passengers that come through Dubai.
Paul, once again, thanks very much for joining us on Breaking Travel News.
Pleasure. Thanks, Phil.